I recently finished the book Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk, and I've been thinking about how she has a very particular way of writing in this book. She seems to have a sort of fundamental understanding of the different ways that you can put words together, and understands how very small changes in the way language is presented, or syntax or punctuation, seems to create a very specific new world. Her world building doesn't just come from the content of her writing, but the actual materiality of the words put together, sort of like building bricks. She seems to create a new set of rules for existence within her novels. Drive Your Plow is set in a remote Polish village and follows Janina, who is a slightly eccentric old woman, and the deaths of several of her neighbours who are all hunters. Tokarczuk sets up what feels like a shortcut for us as readers into Janina's mind, and to the values and objects which are important to her. She capitalises certain words consistently, presenting them as entities which to her hold a particular power. So, for example, she consistently capitalises animals in general, as well as specific creatures. She capitalises concepts like darkness, evil, ailments and pain, as well as stars and signs. And this is an example of a paragraph that is particularly rich in capitalisation. Meanwhile, there were martens breeding in the writer-woman's house. I didn't give any of them names, as I could neither count them nor tell them apart. Their special characteristic is being difficult to spot. They're like ghosts. They appear and disappear at such speed that one can't be sure one has really seen them. Martens are beautiful animals. I could have them in my coat of arms, should the need arise. They seem to be light and innocent, but that is just an appearance. In fact, they're cunning and menacing creatures. They wage their minor wars with cats, mice and birds. They fight among themselves. What links all of these capitalised words together is that they are things that Janina values with importance. They're things that matter to her in her worldview. In the light of all my recent thinking about connecting interests and how, for example, my clothes making might relate to my weaving, might relate to my painting, might relate to my sculpting, I enjoyed discovering these areas of interest and importance, highlighted with capital letters throughout the novel, like little gems amongst the other words. I imagined picking out all of these capitalised words from the book and writing them out onto playing cards. Having a collection of these cards, which could be shuffled and reordered, but are in their entirety a collection of some of the things that matter most to an individual. I thought as well of these capital words as objects in a room. What if I were to make an object? Be that a painted piece of wood, a knitted image, or a piece of furniture, for each word that interested me, and then put them all together in a room. In Drive Your Plow, the capitalised words aren't the only words with intention. These capitalised words might be the ones that hold the most specifically for the character of Janina, but the entire novel is a much greater collection of words chosen by Tokarczuk because there is meaning and value for her and for us in the specific sequence and arrangement. In crafting a sentence to convey an idea or a memory, Tokarczuk is stringing together words chosen because for her, they come close to holding what it is that she's trying to say. I'm sure there is lots of editing involved, and some words might be lost and some words might be gained. What if these made objects held together in a room are also surrounded by and supported by found objects and pre-existing objects? Objects that are still chosen by me, that still hold something or come close to saying something that I want to say, but that aren't made by me. What happens when all of these words or objects, capitalised and uncapitalised, come together into a room or a house or a city? In Tokarczuk's conversation with Dua Lipa, Tokarczuk reveals that she wrote the whole book in just a few months. I feel inspired by this sort of energy in choosing and sorting through objects and words. And I think perhaps I just need to immerse myself and let myself be comfortable with the idea that all of these seemingly disparate elements can be connected and part of the same whole. to make lots and collect lots and to present them all together over the next few months moving into summer.